Welcome back to Sale, Resell, Sold. This is week 29. Coming to you from Rossford, Ohio. It's okay. You don't have to feel sorry for me. We're just going to do our top 10 real quick here while we're in the hotel room. Plan on doing some sourcing this weekend. Hopefully Ohio brings the good stuff. We'll see. Number 10, A6 Solution Speed FF men's shoes. We got these at a moving sale that they called an estate sale. Really good prices. These were $2 and I grabbed them because they were in really good condition and there were comps for them. I had them listed for $40 and somebody sent me a $25 offer. I said, okay, here you go. Take them. Because they're big. Shoes are big. Our takeaway on that after cost of goods and eBay's is $14.36. Number 9, CAS Germany's Suspenders, leather with a chevron print. I found these at Goodwill. I thought they were cute. I did look them up. This is a long-standing company in Germany. They have stuff that's dated all the way back pre-unification, or whatever it was called. So some of it's marked West Germany and some of it's marked Germany. And these were marked Germany. It didn't take very long for them to sell. We had them listed for $24.88 and they sold a couple nights ago in the middle of the night for our full asking price at $24.88 and our cost of goods was $2.99. And so our takeaway was $15.28. I like small things like this. You know, that doesn't take up much space and it's easy to ship and you know the drill. Number 8, Baby Catan Baby Carrier, black, size medium. I bought this for when my youngest was born. I was not a size medium after giving birth to him. It's been sitting in a closet for a long time. And I don't remember what I paid for it. There was a Target clearance sticker on it, which is probably what led me to buy it, thinking, you know, medium's probably subjective. It really isn't. So our takeaway on that is $15.28. Number 7 is Robies by Stride Right. These are Star Wars R2-D2 soft sole shoes. I got these at my not bridal, because why would a bride need those? My baby shower for my youngest, and he never wore them. I'm a barefoot person, so my kids learned to walk barefoot. And these were cute. It took a lot of restraint not just to put them on for decoration, not gonna lie. But they were a gift. We had them listed for $29.88, so the $22.58 that we got from them is just a clean takeaway. Number 6, Miss Me American Flag shorts. I got these at Plato's Closet. They were kicking off their 50% off sale, 50, 70, 90, however they do it, on July 3rd. I got there right as they opened. Plato's Closet's having a sale, y'all. I didn't know what was 50% off. It was sign just said 50% off, and it was very vague. And so I'm just walking around the store, and finally I see an employee, and I'm like, so what is 50% off? And they were like, tank tops, short sleeve shirts, shorts, swimsuits, and short dresses with short sleeves, or something like that. And I was like, okay. And so I saw these Miss Me shorts, and I've gotten Miss Me shorts before, and they sold quickly, and we made money on them. Since these were so heavily bedazzled, they would be a good pickup. They were at Plato's Closet for $15 and half off. They were $7.50 on the day before the 4th of July. I looked up comps, and there weren't very many of these listed. They had about 100% sell-through rate. So I grabbed them, and I listed them for $74.26, which I thought was clever. But then my husband says, well, why didn't you have them listed for $74.76? And I was like, that's even more clever. Dang it. So somebody sent an offer for $60, I don't know, like 48 hours, 24 or 48 hours after we had them listed. And it's funny, somebody sent an offer for $40 and I came back with $60. And they immediately sent the decline. And at the exact same moment she sent decline, somebody else sent an actual $60 offer, which I accepted. And our takeaway on that was $36.03. Number 5, This was our vintage enamel Western wear that we picked up at an estate sale. There were 6 plates and 8 cups, and we broke it down into sets, a set of 4 cups, 4 plates, a set of 2 cups, 2 plates, and 2 cups. The set of 4 cups, 4 plates sold overnight, just instantly. Full asking, we just woke up to this sale, and I was like, what? That's nuts. We paid $25 for the whole lot, and my husband has broken it down to cost of goods for this being $14.29. After eBay took a lot, we netted $38.08. Number 4. Oh God, I love this. So I've talked about going to Box Lunch for sourcing. They have such fun pop culture stuff. When I saw this sweater, we're huge Shrek fans. My middle child's a huge Shrek fan. So I pick up Shrek stuff all the time because, it's fun merchandise. I saw this sweater. Those are onions crocheted onto the sweater. I comped this in the store, and there was 1 pre-owned one listed and 2 or 3 sold. So I knew this was a pickup. And so I grabbed it because it is awesome. I think I would have grabbed it either way because it has it has crocheted onions attached to the sweater. I love it. I had it listed for $84.88. I sent out a 10% offer, which somebody immediately took. It cost $16.30. Box Lunch was having a buy one, get 2 clearance items for free. So we got a couple of things. And so our takeaway on that was $38.54. I almost didn't grab it though because it was an extra small, but I was like, you know what? The sell-through's there. I'm going to grab it. Somebody wants this sweater. And I was right. Number 3, Anthropology Artist Garden Sleep Set. Black floral, extra large. We were at Goodwill, and pajamas wasn't even the first place that I looked. And these were beautiful. And I didn't know they were Anthropology. I forget what brand they were. But when I comped them, they came up Anthropology, and there wasn't a single pair listed and a single pair sold. Knowing that these were Anthropology, knowing that they were 100% organic, knowing that they were a good size. Oh, they're bedhead pajamas. I grabbed them. I threw those in my cart so fast. And they were listed for, 6 weeks. And I had them listed at $99.88 because there weren't really any comps to go off of. I mean, there was one other, like they had the Unicorn Dream pajamas were there, which were close to these, but not quite the same. After fees and cost of goods, which was $8, we took away $39.09. So that was a great pickup. I really, really wanted those pajamas. Number 2, Lego Classic lot of 3 sets. Yeah, I lot together my Legos a lot of the time, especially when there's a lower value, because people like to buy them in bulk, and then that's how they start a collection for their kids, or maybe they're just starting Lego. I mean, who knows, really? I got them all on clearance, and I had them listed for $59.88. And usually I try to stick around 5 to 10% off on my Lego, and this is just over 20%. And I thought, sure, I accepted. Cost of goods, I can't tell you. The little blue box, I think, has like a $3 sticker on it, but the other 2, I can't remember. So I'm just going to say our takeaway was $38.71 because I can see the sticker on the blue one. And number 1 this week is Walt Disney World Pin Trading Lanyard, 8 large pins. And I had this listed super high. There wasn't a single one of these listed or a single one of these sold, and this has been listed for a year. But the pins are huge on this, and they're great. You've got all the parks represented. You've got some of the hotels represented. You've got all the main characters. I just let it ride. And people sent me lowball offers, and I was just like, no, it's the only one. I'm just going to ride this one out. Somebody will buy it. And I sent out a 10% offer, and somebody bought it. They paid $89.89, with our takeaway being $65.73. And I would have bought this at our Disney store when it was a clearance, not a clearance, it was an outlet store. So we would get park merchandise and it would be marked down. Not unlike the one that's in the Character Warehouse that's in Orlando. But they took away our Disney store right after COVID. Best guess, I probably paid $15 for this. So that would make our takeaway on this $50, which is great. Sometimes when I do comps and I don't see any sold or any listed, I just leave it behind. But this is something I already had. And like those pajamas, I knew they were Anthropology. It really is a no-brainer if those are going to sell, especially because they were newer and they were still listed on the website as sold out. It's a pretty good one. There you have it. I'm just going to wrap it up real quick. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day.